Welcome to episode 1335 of the Multifamily Collective. I wanted to follow up on the last piece that we did about GPT-3 and what that means long term as it relates to creating applications for your particular business line, whatever that might be. It doesn't matter. The implications of this are broad reaching, at least from my perspective. And look, mind you, I'm no technology expert. Certainly don't work behind the scenes creating software and things of that nature, but I do read a lot, and that doesn't make me an expert either. It just gives me at least a unique insight into what is happening out in the marketplace, and certainly that's filtered through my sometimes limited, but sometimes exhaustive understanding of things. So, um, all that to say, I'm an amateur, in especially as it relates to predictions. But what seems to be happening from my perspective with things like OpenAI and GPT-3, uh, generative uh, artificial intelligence, and many other things you could bolt on. You could just bolt on, bolt on, bolt on. But it seems like what is happening to me is that at some point, really soon, if I have a problem, if I have a problem that needs to be solved in my company, and that problem requires or could benefit from a piece of technology, it it seems to me with the right acumen, with somebody who has the right chops, right skill set, you could create your own applications, right? So let's use multifamily as an example, and let's just go big here. Let's go big. Certainly, what I'm about to say is very utopian, uh, very utopian or quixotic, or all those words might apply here. So, no code software could create an opportunity where you and somebody in your organization, or several people in your organization who write code, um, could create an application that could take your property management system and throw it out the window. You could create your own property management system unique to your organization that creates an opportunity for other no code software created by other organizations that might be best of breed, might be better breed than you, might be stuff that you don't necessarily care about all that much. So you made a trade off and you didn't build it into your software, but you made it, uh, you're still have access to those types of things, and you can bolt them onto the software that you build in your own organization to run your properties, right? Now that's a moonshot, I assume, but maybe not. But let's say you had something a little more simple that you wanted to roll out, whatever it is, something that would create a better system, or standard or discipline or routine in your organization, cut out rote routine work, but could automate something in your organization. You could actually build the software using GPT-3, and somebody who understands the right prompts to feed into the GPT-3 that could at least create the shell, and then that expertise of that human, that individual that understands software on a deeper level, could fill in the gaps, right? But over time, in my head, GPT-3 is just something that could create, hey, here's my problem, and somebody very not sophisticated as it relates to coding, like myself, could just feed it all the right prompts. Here are all the solutions that I need. Here's the problem. Here are all the solutions that I need germane to that problem. And the AI actually generates the application, and then you set the application in place along with proper integrations into other pieces of software if necessary, and you've got yourself an operating system or a solution to an issue without going out into the world and having to buy that stuff off the shelf. Um, in my head, it has huge cost saving implications. Uh, maybe definitely not today. Maybe not today. Maybe for some who are very sophisticated, who understand how to bolt all of these things together, um, using the right if then statements and other pieces of logic, could do it today. There are enough free pieces of software, uh, or platforms out there that you could bolt it all together today. Is there risk in that? Sure, there's risk in that. But I think that risk is being reduced on a daily basis, um, to the point that people can actually start to venture out into this space and start to put together things that would allow them to run their properties for big reduced cost and much more efficiently. So the cost doesn't just apply to the software systems that you have in place today, but also the labor that you have to put behind those software systems. They're very, very costly, but I think we're seeing a day. We're starting to see a day where that cost is going to come down because the open market competition in the sophistication of that open market is it's here, and we're going to see some major impacts. Not just multifamily. This is certainly not first in multifamily. We're never first in anything, but it's coming. It's here, and I'm excited to see what happens with it. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.